Features on the show, and we start with our trending topics, Leanne. First up, hashtag MUFC, that's Man United Football Club.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, through last night and this morning, usually just take a look when you wake up, when the alarm goes off, just to make sure you don't miss out on anything that's happened overnight. Man United Football Club, because they won last night against Burnley, and the reason they're training is because this puts them top of the Premier League,
wow.
and it's been a minute.
That's a big one.
The first 14 top trends in South Africa were all about Man United. MUFC, Pogba, Maguire, even the former manager, Alex Ferguson, was brought in, top of the log. It literally was something to behold. But of course, we do get it, why the Red Devils are happy. Man United FC topping the log at the moment.
Unbelievable. And I'm sure lots of happy fans out there, all these Man U fans that have been waiting patiently for this moment, right?
Yeah, we're happy for them.
Yeah, very. I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are. All right, next one is Uganda, those elections coming up, and this is a big one. It really is. I mean, we're reading so many reports coming through how, just one saying how the social media has actually been banned completely across all sectors because of the elections coming up. Also, another one in terms of Bobby Wine going to the ICC ahead of the elections, and he, of course, is the opposition presidential candidate, Bobby Wine. So that's another big problem. So in terms of the Ugandan elections, this is a very, very, very big news story, and something that we are, as SABC, going to be following. And, Bobby Wine claiming he was arrested. They've been security guards rounded up. Everyone else found on his property. I mean, it's just absolutely crazy what's going on there. So they're saying that the army raided his home as well. So he's really been through the most.
Ugandans posting, pictures of army vehicles being brought in huge numbers. And of course, the opposition parties held a joint press conference. And at that conference, Bobby Wine coming out and saying, this is probably the most dangerous thing to do, is to run against Yoweri Museveni in a presidential election. And this, of course, is Museveni seeking a sixth term in office. 36 years in office. That's a whole lifetime for some people, that they've only known this one president. Yeah. And it's a huge thing, the crackdown on these social media apps 2 days before the election that takes place tomorrow.
So we see that there's 18 million voters registered to vote in the presidential and parliamentary ballot following this pre-election crackdown. So it's going to be an interesting one to follow. It really, really is. And we just worry very much so about violence, and I think that's what many people are concerned about. All right, Mike Pence, talking about elections. He, of course, is, as you know, the vice president. And the big story, I mean, there's a lot going on right now in US politics, and what's going on in America with impeachment proceedings against President Donald Trump. And then, of course, Mike Pence. Now, the big story coming out there is that he has now basically rejected calls to invoke the 25th Amendment to remove Trump from office. So this is another thing. But they, also being reported that Mike Pence and Donald Trump are now absolutely at loggerheads, and they have been for a while. But I do think this is now Mike Pence stepping up and not taking it anymore, because he used to sit there. Now he is not. But
I don't know. Stepping up. They lost the election. Last week, during the insurrection, Donald Trump went for Mike Pence in no uncertain terms. He tweeted about it.
Yeah.
So no love lost between them, but it doesn't really matter at this stage. You have an inauguration taking place next week with Joe Biden. So I don't know. For me, it's a bit of a storm in a teacup at this point.
Well, it is a storm in a teacup, but it's also, it's also Mike Pence. If he wants any future in politics, and if he wants to have any semblance of a reputation to come out of this, he needs to do these things. He does,
because it's already late in the day.
It is too late in the day.
It's way too late in the day.
These are how these things work.
A week before
unbelievable.
You actually leave office,
and now you start turning the pages. You know politics better than I know politics, and that's how it's got to work. Anyway, those are your trending topics for now, and lots more is trending, actually. I even saw now, because we're talking about US, but Trump has now been barred from YouTube. his YouTube channel has been pulled down. So YouTube have now just released a statement. Now, that's obviously Twitter have gotten rid of him. I'm sure, I think Facebook, now YouTube, everything.
Listen, are we
All of them
supposed
are
to
gone.
applaud them at this stage?
No.
If they had a problem with Donald Trump, why didn't they bar him a long time ago? Why now? Because he's no longer going to be the man at the top?
Well, there's your answer. You just asked the question and answered it all in one sentence. Let's take a break. After this, we're going to talk a little bit more about the regulations that were laid out. Obviously, we heard from the president that we're still in level 3. It's a little bit of a harder level 3 lockdown, a couple of new regulations put in place. But we had, of course, a briefing yesterday from the National Command Council. We'll be talking more about that after the break. Do stay tuned.